Holy smokes, it is no joke. Will Trump soon eliminate crypto taxes? At least one senator hopes he would act this way. Moreover, what the bleep is XRP doing on Coinbase? There is really fascinating stuff there, and we are witnessing new day rising for the China-US relations. Secretary Besson discussed the underlying purpose of things. We'll discuss that as well. All I want from you is a lovely grin. Spread those positive, wonderful emotions, isn't it? We want positive energy. Positive energy. I'm radiating positive vibrations. Smash that like button, smishity, since likes are free. This video should have 5,000 likes, please. You all can accomplish it. Simple for you. Around the moment, XRP is resting around $2.58. On the day, XRP's up nearly 1.5%. It's fascinating. We're noticing other assets include Solana, 5%, Ethereum up 7.5%. We have discussed this once more. Many assets might use some more support, isn't it? XRP is still very near its prior local high, where you have Ethereum and you have Sol and you have others, even ADA, which you know is down a little bit more. They require a little bit of recovery. Actually, ADA held really well, but you have many other assets, particularly meme coins, that required significant recovery. Bitcoin remains at 104,000. Ever since we had that one pleasant day up, you can observe it's been roughly 5 days since truly Bitcoin has moved. You have Ethereum that over the last 5 days has had some rather wonderful movement. The crypto market is somewhat in its discovery phase. A lot of liquidity, I believe, is leaping between assets, attempting to determine which next one will run. Remember, as you recall, Sui was popping large for several days, isn't it? Then it had one large day after cooling off for a week or two. And now, once more, 4 or 5 days of lateral movement. Though the cryptocurrency market is warming up somewhat once more, and you can observe, if we return to the top 100, there's plenty of green here. It seems like some are up, some are down, some are up a little bit more, and some are up a little bit less. This is sort of like the discovering phase. I believe we are in a better position than a few weeks ago, but still in the finding out phase where money is sort of wondering, where should I go, what should I invest in, and we're not seeing the full-blown, tremendous volume candles on the assets. For that to occur, I believe we would need first Bitcoin to generate a new all-time high. I believe Bitcoin dominance would also have to fall below 60, even into the 50s, even before we had, those large major changes possibly in the altcoin market. It's going to be really fascinating to see. If we go and we look here, we're moving closer and closer, right, to outgoing season, but you can see it's just 27. Though Bitcoin dominance is declining, we are not where we were in December. Isn't that so? It was, holy smokers in December. We are not there. Though supremacy is declining, we are still rather far off. Should you return and examine where the dominance was back in December, correct, December is right here, our number was 54. Getting down into the 50s, low 50s might allow us to perhaps observe a lot of movement. And it's going to be quite fascinating to see how it plays out. All right? Shattering Trump claims Congress is about to pass largest tax cut measure in history of the United States of America. We've discussed the possibility of President Trump doing anything crypto-related in these tax cuts, and there was the notion circulated around that they would reduce capital gain taxes on American-manufactured cryptos to zero, isn't it? And naturally, this was only a rumor. Senator Cynthia Lummis is now pushing the Trump administration to abolish taxes on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency businesses, so encouraging. If they really carry on with this, it would be fascinating. You know, Scott Pysant, secretary, it will be fascinating to observe whether this happens. Once more, this was a rumor. Certainly, this would be really fascinating. Then, it's going to be suddenly, if they don't put, if there's like only American manufactured without Bitcoin, would there be a situation where like Satoshi Nakamoto comes out of hiding and says, it's American? That will be fascinating. XRP, of course, would be included under it. And of course, it was one of the expectations, the aspirations, when XRP was shooting up big time back in December, November, that it would fall under that tent and we'd see a tax cut for it. That subsequently caused many people to flood into XRP. That means we haven't had any news on that since November, December. It's just been a lot of rumor mill, and it will be fascinating to watch if this continues forward, if we have anything coming in the next several weeks on that. President Trump claims, what is wrong with Tool Powell? Once more, he claims we're all fine one day. The following day, he insults them. Today's CPI print, at least, was good. He claims that if he declines to lower interest rates, Fed Cheryl is unjust to America. Prices of petrol, energy, groceries, and especially everything else are down. No inflation. Like Europe and China, the Fed has to reduce the rate. What is bad about too late power? Unjust to America, which is poised to flourish. Let it be. It will be lovely. Going by the odds, we are still at 92.8% that he will not act. This changed since it was quite likely he would lower interest rates. Well, next meeting doesn't look like he's going to lower interest rates. You can tell it was 70 last week. It was significantly lower than that previously. Going to the July meeting still means 65% of no decrease. Therefore, looking ahead, only in September does it exceed 50% of a decline. The chances of decline have dropped drastically, and the markets appear to believe the Fed will not lower all interest rates. Remember back to the start of the year, when they said maybe 4 or 5 cuts. We have only had one thus far, 50 basis points or 0.5%. It will therefore be rather fascinating to watch how this whole story finally unfolds. Before we go on, I wish to remind you of our partner, BTCC. Should you choose to trade the market, many current chances exist. You may go long. You may go brief. You can use 10x, 2x, 5x, 500x on some assets, but that's a bit excessive. But if your heart wants, you may do whatever you choose. Signing up with my link will bring you 10% deposit on deposits over 500 USDT and a possibility of additional $10,000 bonus per user. But for goodness sake, trade sensibly. I have made much money. Though I have 1000x positions, I have also lost a great deal of money. I sell in stop loss. Therefore, trade sensibly and just be extremely, extremely cautious out there. They have a demo. Therefore, if you wish to register, check whether you enjoy it. You need not spend actual cash.